Hello friends, welcome to this session. We will be discussing, in this session we will be discussing a concept of Indian polity and the way in which a question is built around it. All right, and we will try to locate how, or we will try to understand how if question arises from a similar concept, what should be our approach towards studying that concept. All right, so that we can write our answers in a better way. So in today's concept, what we will be dealing with is, we'll be dealing with constitutional offices and constitutional positions. All right. So the first what we'll do is therefore look into the question, and then we'll discuss with reference to that with reference to this question how a concept is used for the purpose of evaluating your knowledge. All right. So what is the question? The Attorney General is the chief legal advisor and the lawyer of Government of India discuss. So it is basically a very factual question, you may say, and you will have to just in this question lay down, basically you have to lay down facts related to the office of Attorney General. Now let us come to the concept that we were speaking about. The concept that we will be dealing with in this question is obviously the concept of constitutional offices and constitutional posts. So what do we do? What do we consider studying when we look at constitutional offices and constitutional posts? First and foremost, let us understand what is constitutional office or constitutional post for that matter. You have to first understand it, because if an answer demands your explanation or demands your knowledge to be exhibited based upon a question of a constitutional office, first you have to explain ki theek hai, this is a constitutional post, and for that this is a constitutional office, and this is the reason why it is a constitutional office. Alright, you have to understand that. So first is constitutional office, then we have to understand location in constitution. Where is this office or post mentioned in the constitution? Third, you have to understand what are the powers and functions of the office. And last but not the least, you have to also understand the performance of this office over the period of time, how it has performed and how it has been appraised by different organizations, you may say, or different constitutional institutions, including the Supreme Court of India. All right. So these are the parameters on which you have to understand or take into consideration or absorb knowledge related to the information of constitutional office and constitutional posts. The first is constitutional office. As I told you, you have to understand what is a constitutional office or what is a constitutional post. Any office created by the constitution itself or any post created by the constitution itself is the constitution office or a post respectively. Other than that, we will, location in the constitution, powers and functions, performance. What we will do is we will try to understand how you have to include them in your answers, and before including them in your answers, how you have to understand them from the point of view of writing answers. Chalo, let's do that. So coming back to our question, the Attorney General is the chief legal advisor and the lawyer of Government of India discuss. So isme what we have to do? Dekho, isme they have taken up a constitutional office, and that is of the Attorney General. All right. So what you have to do while writing the answer related to Attorney General, and what you have to do while studying the question on any constitutional position, or what you have to do while studying the material related to any constitutional position or office. Chalo dekh lete hain. First and foremost, when I write answer to this question, it is important for me to mention what are the articles that are important from the point of view of Attorney General. What are the articles that are important from the point of view of writing an answer on Attorney General? सबसे पहला वो है. First thing is that. Second thing that you have to understand basically, while writing the answers in questions similar to this, that is question similar to constitutional offices, is the functions. All right. So what do I write over here? I would in this particular answer focus on two things which are provided to me in the question itself. Chief legal advisor. So I will focus on what Attorney General does as chief legal advisor. All right. For example, Attorney General, what he does is he provides advice to the President of India whenever needed. All right. He provides the advice to the central government whenever needed. He provides the advice to the Parliament when a particular law and its provisions are questioned. He provides help or assistance to the government for the purpose of drafting a law. These are basically the jobs done by him as chief legal advisor. He will provide input. If he is not helping in drafting the law, he will at least provide an input with respect to how that particular law will be impacted and whether that law falls within the four walls of constitutionality or not. Okay. Then the question arises how the Attorney General of India is also the lawyer of Government of India. Obviously, Attorney General of India is the first law officer of India. It is his job to represent the government. All right. He will represent the government in constitutional cases, with respect to advisory jurisdiction cases, also with respect to those cases where government of India wants itself to be represented by him. The Attorney General of India obviously tomorrow will have the job of representing government of India even in International Court of Justice if the government is asking him to do so. Not only that, before accepting any criminal cases, what the Attorney General of India has to do, he has to first and foremost take the permission of Government of India. All right. His area of activity is not confined to the Supreme Court and the High Court. He may be sent to any court of India or he may be asked to go to any court of India for the purpose of defending the government. All right, for the purpose of defending the government. If the case might be, he is also someone who would be asked to act as a lawyer. When I say act as a lawyer, that means help in drafting international treaty with respect to India's position. All right, so this basically are the functions performed by Attorney General of India. I hope you have got the gist of what I am trying to say. All right, I hope we have got the gist of what I am trying to say. If you consider another question, if we take up a probable question, suppose let us take a probable question. Here what we will have to do, let us first look at the question. CAG is the friend, philosopher and guide of Public Accounts Committee. Discuss. So here if I have to write the answer and if I have to read information related to CAG, what I will take into account? Of course I will take into account the article. All right, of course I will take into account the article. Then what I will do, I will get into why he is called the friend, philosopher and guide of the PSC. The relation between the two constitutional institutions have to be established, and basically what it is asking is, it is asking the function of CAG. All right, it is asking the function of CAG. When I write the functions of the CAG now, as in the case of Attorney General also, I will also, if there is material available, if there is something on current affairs that has come about, I will write the appraisal. Appraisal not by anyone. Appraisal by suppose a constitutional expert. Appraisal by suppose by the Supreme Court of India. All right, in that case I will even include the appraisal. If it is about discuss na ki haan CAG is friend, philosopher, guide of PSC, then I will write whether this position is challenged by anyone or not. Whether someone is saying, or the Supreme Court, someone matlab Supreme Court or a constitutional expert is saying ki nahi, there is a problem with it. or whether the Supreme Court has said that the CAG, the office of CAG, has been doing a wonderful job and it is indeed the friend, philosopher and guide of the Public Accounts Committee. This I will take into consideration while studying the this I will take into consideration while studying constitutional position. Alright friends, thank you so much for being part of it. We'll meet soon and understand some other concept and look into how that concept has to be studied from mains point of view. Thank you so much. Bye.